This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Monday, the 9th day of December in the year 2019. Here is what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana Lands and Survey Commission's remapping exercise, which was expected to have already commenced, has been delayed by some constraints and new developments. This was revealed today at the Commission's end-of-year press conference by Commissioner Trevor Ben.
That work is about to start. The consultant and its team is on the ground. There are 2 aircrafts at the moment lying at the Ogle Airport. Unfortunately, when they arrived here 3 Fridays ago, we had a very ugly incident where their laptop was removed from the airplane without their consent at one of our airports. And that delayed the work. And now that they've been able to replace the laptop, the rain is upon us. So it's further delayed.
The remapping exercise will aid the Commission to be in a position to determine and advise at any time where lands are available, whether it is for housing, agriculture, or whatever purposes that might be required. While the initial cost for the remapping exercise was estimated at some $75 million, Mr. Ben said through a process conducted by the National Tender and Procurement Administration, a consultant was hired to conduct the first phase of the project.
So we still do have a number of proposals before us for the mapping. We have settled with one individual. The National Procurement and Tender Administration Board has selected one client, consultancy firm to conduct the mapping. And we are doing it in phases. We cannot undertake it as a whole, given the cost associated with it. I think for this particular supplier, the cost for the entire country is something like $18 million.
Using the latest technology to capture relevant data, the remapping exercise will provide the platform for updating national topography database and will support the government and private sector needs. The Commissioner said the importance of good base maps and generally updated maps cannot be overstated. He highlighted that work has commenced on the development of the land parcel database for regions 2, 3, and 7 and will be taken across the rest of the country in the coming years. More news coming up in just a moment.
At the most critical life-changing moments, the National Insurance Scheme is here to ensure that your needs are covered. Access reimbursement for medical expenses for various aspects of your medical care. We know that eye care is of utmost importance. Receive assistance with our Spectacle Care voucher. Visiting the dentist? Dental care is also covered under our sickness benefit services. Offset the funeral expenses of a loved one with costs covered by our funeral benefits. National Insurance Scheme. We're there every step of the way.
Enter the GBTI Quick Cash Christmas promotion and make it a Christmas to remember. You get up to $500,000 easy for anything you want this Christmas. Plus, enter for a chance to win fabulous items for your home. One complete 7-foot granite top base kitchen cabinet, one sectional suite, one 5-piece dinette set, and complimentary baskets of goodies. Apply at your nearest branch or online at www.gbtibank.com. GBTI, we see Christmas through your eyes.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
It's bigger, it's better, it's back. It's GTT's plus size Christmas promotion. Connect with your friends and loved ones with GTT services to benefit from our biggest ever Christmas bundle of specials and be one of our plus size winners. Visit our website or call 227-9444 for more information today.
Big bundles for you. Big bundles for you. Top up a grand, we make a winner out of you. We got a game show for you. Game show for you.
Welcome back. 4 fishermen from Berbice who went crab catching in neighboring Suriname have been found alive and well. The 4 men were reported missing over the weekend after family members lost contact with them. But the fishermen Yogeshwar Mangal and Andio Harry, Nelson De Young and Amar Gunraj were found in Naikeri in Suriname. According to Police Regional Commander for Region 6, Senior Superintendent Calvin Brutus, the men have since returned to Guyana. He said the 4 men explained that they were catching crabs in one of the tributaries in Suriname when they encountered some problems when the high tide came and their boat was blocked from getting out. They were forced to leave the boat behind and went into the Naikeri area to seek help. It was there in Naikeri that they were found. News of the men being found alive brought great relief for family members who were hoping for the best but were also preparing themselves for the worst, especially in wake of recent incidents. It was just recently that a group of Guyanese fishermen lost their lives when their boat came under attack in Surinamese waters. They were beaten and chopped to death and their bodies dumped into the sea. Some local fishermen have since been charged in connection with those deaths. Well, the union representing sugar workers has written to the government officially seeking its intervention in the sugar workers' request for that increase in their salaries. The union is contending that the workers are deserving of a salary increase since they have not been paid any increases since 2014. The Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union is hoping that the government could reach out to the board of the sugar company in an effort to facilitate the increases. Last week, sugar workers in several parts of the country protested as they pressed for salary increases. The government has said the board of the company, Gaisuco, should address the issue, but the union feels it is time that the president becomes involved in the matter. The major party in the coalition government, the People's National Congress Reform, has rubbished the manifesto promise made by the opposition People's Progressive Party that it will create 50,000 jobs in the next 5 years if it gets into office. Executive member of the PNC Reform, Aubrey Norton, told reporters on Friday that it is difficult to propose a figure for job creation when there are many avenues being opened up daily to create both direct and indirect employment.
I don't think one should run down the road of giving a figure just from the skies of 50,000. What we do know for sure is that some of the industries we have targeted will generate employment.
Mr. Norton said one of the main focus of the government will be to create opportunities of employment for Guyanese youth through a Youth Corps initiative.
I would say to you as well that we have begun that process. We have never said we will do it solely by jobs. We have always said there will be a two-pronged approach. On the one hand, we will create jobs directly, and on the other hand, we will create the avenues for people to be involved in business and also generate jobs for Guyanese.
He also added that the coalition will be using resources at its disposal to ensure it creates jobs that are paying.
I can create a job for you and give you $40,000. And it's not much, but we're talking about jobs that will pay. And the government is committed to that. I don't want to go and say this is a figure. I will prefer when you meet with the finance minister, who will have all the details. You can ask that question and get details. And I doubt he will tell you 50,000 or 30,000 or 40,000.
The PNC reform executive contended that the PPP never created 50,000 jobs when it was in office for 23 years, and therefore it would be impossible for them to create the same amount over a 5-year period. But the presidential candidate of the PPP air finale believes the 50,000 jobs being promised to the Guyanese population should his party return to office is in fact a modest figure. He argues that the coalition government promised to stimulate job creation, especially for youths, but instead the coalition caused the country to face job losses in various sectors. Mr. Ali has said the oil and gas sector can also be a great source of job creation within the areas of training, shore-based facilities, gas and energy development, and other activities. The Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission continues to face several challenges, particularly as it relates to cybersecurity and acts of corruption identified among its own staff members. The Commission's Human Resources Manager, Shonda James Williams, told reporters today that 3 persons had their services with the Commission terminated due to acts of corruption.
We had about 3 employees who were terminated for corruption. In those cases, staff would have entered into agreement with clients, issue receipt in exchange, collected monies in exchange for land. Right? And so when those cases came to us as a commission, we acted in relation to our policy.
In those cases, the HR manager said the matters were not turned over to the police because the clients did not want to pursue any matter, but the action was taken based on the policy of the Lands and Survey Commission.
Another staff was terminated for inflating bills, taking advances to go and do surveys and inflating bills. And so in relation to that, we had to terminate that staff because it's an act of dishonesty and it's against our policy. Corruption is something that we can't stop, but as soon as we find it, we deal with it.
Meanwhile, the Commissioner of the Lands and Survey Commission, Trevor Ben, said the Commission is also facing cybersecurity threats. Mr. Ben explained today that the increased use of email and the heightened national and international profile of the Commission has led to an increase in cyber-related incidents. According to Mr. Ben, there is currently one cyber incident that is engaging the attention of the Guyana Police Force. That incident involved the Commission's telephone system being compromised. While the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit is preparing drug trafficking charges against another man who has been nabbed with a large quantity of marijuana. Over the weekend, Kano announced the arrest of 30-year-old Azim Ali, called Boyo of Zeeburg, West Coast, Demerara. He was arrested last Thursday night at the Willem with over 60 pounds of compressed marijuana. He reportedly attempted to evade Kano ranks during a chase, but was cornered in a large amount of marijuana found in his car. 3 other persons who were in the car managed to escape. They are being sought. Just last week, a Berbice man was busted with over 100 pounds of marijuana in the trunk of his car. He was arrested and charged. He pleaded guilty during the first court appearance and was sentenced to 4 years in jail. The latest drug trafficking suspect is likely to have his day in court within the next few days. With the holiday season here, the Guyana Prison Service has teamed up with the police force to carry out searches at the various prisons across the country. Over the weekend, searches were done at the Cam Street Jail, the Luziknan, Tamari, New Amsterdam, and Mazaruni prisons. According to a statement from the police, among the illegal items seized were several gallons of homemade wine. The prisoners might have been preparing themselves for a holiday feast. But the searchers also unearthed 48 improvised weapons, 11 cell phones, 9 SIM cards, ecstasy powder, marijuana, cell phone batteries and chargers, over 50 cigarette lighters, razor blades, a hacksaw blade, scissors, and even steel wool, among other items. Several random searches were previously conducted, and those searches also unearthed prohibited items. It is suspected that there may have been some collusion between the prisoners and some prison officers to get the prohibited items in. A prison officer was recently busted with a quantity of marijuana in his underwear. In the courts, the start of the preliminary inquiry for murder-accused Marcus Beesram, who was recently extradited from the U.S., has been pushed back. Beesram was back in court today, but the magistrate who should have been hearing the matter, Alex Moore, reported sick. Bisram was moved across to the New Amsterdam Magistrates Court before Magistrate Peter Hugh, but the prosecutor was not present at the court, forcing the magistrate to set a new date for the start of that preliminary inquiry. Bisram's attorney is not pleased with the development and is threatening to move to the High Court in an effort to get bail for his client. That attorney, Sanjeev Jatadin, said there appears to be some delaying tactics on behalf of the prosecution. At the previous court appearance, the prosecutor was asked to file statements in relation to the matter. Those statements have reportedly not been filed as yet, and the absence of the presiding magistrate further complicated that process today. Marcus Bisram is facing a murder charge related to the death of carpenter Fayez Narainzat, who was badly beaten to death after reportedly turning down sexual advances by Bisram. A number of other persons have since been charged in connection with the same murder. Bisram is believed to have been the one who ordered the hit. The matter will now come up for hearing on the 16th of December, as Bisram remains behind bars. In Georgetown, 2 men were today committed to stand trial by the chief magistrate for allegedly plotting to murder a Latin businessman. 57-year-old Mark Grimmond of Grove Housing Scheme East Bank Demerara and 36-year-old Chatterpaul Singh of Cummings Lodge East Coast Demerara were committed to face a judge and jury following the completion of the preliminary inquiry today. It is alleged that between the 1st of April 2018 and the 7th of June 2019 in Georgetown, they conspired with persons known and unknown to murder Dwayne Grant. The chief magistrate ruled today that a sufficient case was made out against the defendants. Grimmond and Singh will remain on $500,000 bail. Grimmond is the owner of Mark Interior Communications Inc. and also manages Rocky's Bar and Hotel here in Georgetown. According to reports, Grant was a businessman in Latem, made a report to the police that the two defendants were plotting to kill him. The police in Latem then visited the hotel and found Singh with a firearm in his possession. He was taken into custody and reportedly admitted that he was contracted by Grimmond to kill Grant. Grimmond was later arrested and taken into custody and has denied the accusations. Telephone records from both men have been obtained and will likely form part of that High Court trial. Samuel Suknandan is up next with Across the Region.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howo trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
There once was a man named Stan whose business needed a new plan. Christmas was coming, this much was true. He needed some help but didn't know what to do. Then fast as a flash, 3 helpers did come from Republic Bank. They came with some. One had low interest rates, one reduced equity, one with approval so quick and easy. Now Stan is the man and his business is booming. Christmas is good and he is winning. Reach more customers and boost your business with a Republic Small Business Loan today.
Taking you across the region right now, I'm Samuel Suknandan. We start off with news in the Caribbean. The United Nations World Food Programme is scaling up emergency food assistance in Haiti, where protracted political and economic crises are fanning a humanitarian disaster. World Food Programme Regional Director for Latin America and the Caribbean, Miguel Barreto, told the Miami Herald that there is need for immediate support to continue the operational plan, which means basically to reach 700,000 people during the next 8 months across the island nation. WFP on Friday issued an appeal for $62 million. The appeal and scale-up in food distributions come as anti-government protests in Haiti begin to wane and many schools reopen after more than 2 months of a countrywide lockdown that disrupted daily life as well as humanitarian assistance. And now for a look at news in Latin America. 4 people were killed and 2 injured in a shooting over the weekend near Mexico's National Palace, the presidential residence in the historic center of the capital, officials said. The Mexican president was traveling outside of Mexico City at the time. An armed man entered the building on a small street near the palace and was confronted by people close by. The man pulled out a pistol and opened fire, killing 4 of them. Finally, international news. New Zealand police have confirmed that 5 people have died and 8 are missing after the White Island volcano erupted on Monday as tourists visited. 34 people survived, with 31 of them still receiving treatment in hospital. The casualties include tourists from Australia, the US, the UK, China and Malaysia. A naval ship was dispatched to the uninhabited island to conduct an assessment of the situation. Tourists had been seen walking inside the crater of White Island volcano moments before it erupted. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. Have a good night.